okay, I just have 4 else if blocks. So yeah, that's kind of stupid. This is because why I want to simplify it, because doing the thing that I did with terrains, just having one terrain class that creates these differently instantiated instances of terrain. When I do that for the tiles, that won't make a huge difference for just 2 objects. But since a long time it keeps getting me, I was hung up on the tile method and the tile class that I throw away last, also in this footage. But I can, like I said, I can take out the things that make them different for like arrayList, and the rest I can initialize like I did with the terrains. So I will recreate a tile class, in fact, new class, just do it, and then I will simplify my, like in the render function, and it will simplify it in the render function and also in the potential tile select thingies. So this tile, let me see how I did it in terrain name. So let me see. WH. I want to rename those also. W and H is, yeah, logically, like ChatGPT told me last time, it's might want to have another. It's yeah, it should logically stand for width and height, but it is about array position. So might want to rename it to row and column or something more logical. Something I noted last night. When I tried to sleep, I couldn't sleep because I had all these codes going around in my head, and I got out of bed multiple times to write some stuff down because I was, oh, I can do it like that, can do it like that, can do it like that. I really start to see other possibilities now. So that's quite funny. That's quite fun. This hurts my brain. I will then. This will have a tile, culture tile, and a tile corridor tile, like that. Maybe I can even just call them culture and corridor to keep things simple. I think that will work. I'm again going to break everything, I feel. And it also should take the terrain then, I guess. Terrain. Tile type corridor is highlighted. It all needs that in tile then. Terrain cannot be resolved to a type. That's weird. I need those values. Is draw outline. That should have it as well. So now I'm going back to creating a tile. But instead of having 2 objects of either corridor or culture tile, I will just have one tile object that creates a corridor or culture. But because the differences are minute. Get first unit on tile. That is probably going to be something that lives in the tile list. Yeah, the Boolean, that is the set Boolean method is highlighted. I think that should be called set is highlighted because it's a setter. As far as I know, get tile type. Tile type is as a string, of course. And this is getter. No, get W, get H. Those are getters. All this can go to unified class. Let me check for the culture tile if it has anything that I somehow missed. I will right away make a class UnitList. Units on tile. No, it's just called UnitList. Finish, and then I will throw that in there, and this is private, not public. The local thingy, as far as I understand it now. And what else is there from the unit list? Add units on tile. That's gonna just be add units on list then. Copy. So I just have these lists separate from there. Here's still something with the shape that the tile doesn't know its shape any longer. Like the guy from the book all the time said, it doesn't know anything about that and this and such and so, which is pretty funny. Here's my tile. Why does he whine about terrain not being a class. It's so weird. Why are you doing this? Did I somehow create that outside of my package? That's pretty weird. That is pretty interesting. It's pretty strange. Anyway, oh, type parameter train to tile. Oh, because I didn't finish it probably. Anyway, so this stuff for the constructor goes in here as well. Units on tile, so everything of that I move to there. It just gets the terrain. Let me see how I do that on the board. This hard on my brain this. So terrain takes those parameters, and I pass the W and H. I pass them 2 times. I don't think that is necessary. I assign those to the grid hexagon, and that one can pass them straight on to the. So, and this I can reduce to this without the word like that. And this is grid hexagon. I'm all over the place. Culture that doesn't need it. I don't need the WH here, I think. I know I'm doing it wrong, of course. Tile. Huh? Where did I change those things right now? Oh yeah, in grid hexagon. It just takes 1 tile, of course. It doesn't take 2. And then how do I do that? Yes. And then it gets no in. Why do I have? Oh yeah, tile. This takes terrain. Tile. That doesn't. This is tile. This is really hurting my brain. This kind of stuff. So tile, and then this again. First time that it opens the autocomplete, it doesn't work. This tile is tile. Yes. Okay. Let me write that down in how it should look like in board because it wrecks my brain here. So, oh yeah, this is gonna do interesting stuff with the random. Then I guess that would be like this. Culture is new tile. I'm just putting it in here to see what I need. Culture is new tile. Culture, and then corridor is new tile corridor, like that. But then, okay, so then it also needs to take the terrain tile. Let me see where the terrain does it do. It doesn't take an instance of itself, of course. So the tile should take the terrain. Okay, terrain. Public tile. I'm just breaking everything again, and I'll see where where it ends. So I have 2 tiles. Instead of 8 trains, I have 2 tiles, of which, no, I call that in grid hexagon. Here. Oh yeah, here, grid hexagon. Like I call here a tile with a terrain, I need to call a grid hexagon with a culture or corridor. And it is already in there because I passed them on. But instead of passing objects, I want to create them there, don't I? But because I create a new thing here, isn't that going to break things? No, I just want to, oh, yeah, then I need to nest them, I guess. Case, then this would be no new, instead of wait. Because, yeah, I was thinking I can do it the same like that, but I cannot create those objects only once because I want to create them with a specific terrain. The tiles as well, don't I? It's just a container, but they need to get new a tile. Oh la la, this hurts my brain very much. This is only the culture instead is only the separation between that and that. So I have 4 cultures, 4 corridors. Here I create that terrain. Then I pass that instance of terrain to the tile. So then in this constructor, I create. Oh wait, I'm still thinking in objects. While that one only has name stuff, I want grid hexagon to have an object of tile, but the tile just is distinguished now exactly because I take out things. It's a little empty object with very little stuff in there. It's just tile type. This tile type is tile type. like so. Get tile type is on. Okay. Now I get it. This is string tile type, like that. This tile type is tile type. WH, of course, I put them on. It still can't find terrain for some reason. Very weird, very weird. And then I don't tell it its name, of course. That was the trick. I tell it its name over here, like I did with that. Like no. Okay, no, I'm going to do it double. Yeah, no, because I need them all four. I need to do this tile culture tile. Let's put them right below this one, below the terrain, so that I have some logical order. And then I'm not gonna instantiate them there, of course. I'm gonna instantiate a new tile with the cases, with the switches, that is not taking WH arguments for now. I don't know how to do it, but I know I got to change that. So for this is culture, I would need to do it like so now. New. Oh, new tile. And this goes away. You are not allowed to be there anymore. Refers to the missing type terrain. What is with terrain? Why is it? Why I did? What's the problem? Something went wrong. Oh, maybe because I messed it some all up. Yeah, well. I'm gonna throw away the culture and the thingy right now. I have the impression I have created things outside of my scope, outside of my package. Something went wrong. Hunter, something went wrong. I'm not sure what. So, but I don't need Cordotel. Yeah, I'm just throwing them away. Don't be afraid. Everything is gonna break. I'm not even gonna refactor it. I'm just gonna rewrite all that code that is now broken. Because I think it's why I don't understand it. Where's terrain? Here it is. Something went wrong. Public tile. Oh, I see something. The tile class seems to be a subclass of. How does that work? It seems to be. What else did I create here? UnitList. UnitList is in the default package, and somehow these are my files. Okay, those are the. Yeah, okay, that's cool. But somehow my tile that I just created isn't in the default package. How is that possible? Oh. Oh, so I asked ChatGPT how to fix it. It said something about I saw that there was a package declaration up here. Oh, here. Oh, it's still there. Okay, yeah. There was an error. It's just you can just fix it by telling it to move it to default package. Oh, so now I broke everything. This has pretty far-fetching consequences. Now in this here in corridor and in grid hexagon, get tile, return this tile. Yeah, okay. See, I can reduce things now to one. What is it called? Dimension, which is pretty interesting. And so, if this, yeah, this returns terrain. So then this can return a tile. And how do I check it that this is? I need to set the tile to null. Okay, might be a problem. I want to set, wait a minute. So now I need to check whether this, I think I should add an end in here now. And culture, does it work like that? Wait a minute, now I only pass a string to the tiles. I need, oh no, of course I am understanding. Instead of doing the random here for the terrain like this, I need to create two instances of tile, one culture, one corridor, and then instead of passing it here like when creating a new tile, it needs culture, and then here I need to assign a random terrain instead of a random culture tile. Aha. So, oh, this is interesting. So I think I do need culture is a new tile. And it starts to make sense. And corridor is new. I think I'm on the right track now again. And one is culture, and one is corridor, of course. And this whole stuff will be, instead of having a double here, it will be included in this thing. But how do I do that? Copy terrain, comma, terrain. I cannot do that. Wait. Why do I do terrain? That's just an integer that becomes random terrain. That too. Wait. I need one method to create a random, and I want also a functionality to select it manually. So now I'm gonna assign random tiles to. Oh la la. I'm really blocking on this again as usual. Private. I think I need an intermediate terrain, and then the random terrain is oh yeah. Alright, I'm gonna make something very simple here. Seems to rise. I will get it. I'm just once again completely being confronted with my lack of default is no. This just switches terrain. And this, oh yeah, random terrain, I made it here. I'm getting lost in the, let's put it down here so I see it. Random terrain, so random terrain, switch random terrain. And then this is old stuff. But now I need to tell it to create a new tile with this random terrain. So the new tile will be culture for these with one of these random terrains. I'm getting so bogged down. I'll just ask my digital body. ChatGPT gives me something about enums and stuff. That my tile shouldn't take an object of tile, which is logical. Should work with a constant on enum. Yeah, then again, it doesn't do anything that's special. It's just a collection of things in the terrain. Just have some strings, an image, integer. The tile shouldn't take tile. Like the other tile terrain is just the name. Just going back to string, I'm messing with it. String, like in terrain, string. Yeah, I don't need which I assign here. It's just culture, don't care. I just want a visual representation. Now I think I need to make this whole random stuffy, which also does the for loop. It does a random, which then fills the grid hexagon. Okay, no, it's not a if. How do I make sure that this terrain is only for this instance of tile that I create here, and that I can use terrain as well in the second half? Let's just write it down. Let's just write it all like that, and then I'll just ask ChatGPT how I make those two separate. And I also because I'm not checking for conditions here. I'm constructing stuff. I'm building. Yeah, I have this, and this is gonna. I can throw all that stuff out. That's a lot lot more readable, at least, this whole thing. Because I instantiate them sooner, I just have to assign those. I love this. I really love this. This is so funny compared to what it was, and I'm sure I'm on the track to making this all simple. So yeah, I have this random terrain twice, and I don't distinguish between culture or corridor except in the new tile and then the terrain must be that. So, but I need to separate those. Okay, wait. I need a new tile, yes, which take that 4, and I also need to do that. It's just a double. It's just a double. And how do I tell it to do both? And like here, new. This is just really a question of syntax now. It's not conceptually. This is not too hard. So this will be a corridor, and it's not with types and enums and all kinds of different complicated shit. I think that suffices. They're just little containers that I can perfectly well identify by this, by their name for now, I think. Might get into trouble in the render stuff, etc., but I don't think so, because then I pass to the grid hexagon, I pass an instance of tile, but that's what makes it simple. The grid hexagon takes the WH and then a tile. It has to be able to take both. Wait a minute. It has to take culture and corridor, yes. Okay, wait, I need to assign then to the whole thing, the whole new tile with the terrain, with the specific terrain, I want to assign that to the variable of tile, I think. So then I have an instance of tile, yeah, which is here, which I have here. So then grid hexagon takes tile, yeah, like I had in the beginning, I think. Culture, tile, no, tile culture, and tile corridor. Oh, without a capital. Did I think, writing it wrong? That should be able to take them both. Culture is, this is tile culture. Plop, that's all. That's probably private, not sure. Private tile, like that. And it's not happy. Culture only final. Maybe it's when I do it just public, because no. Only final. Private, final. What? Is it not private or public? Oh, it's just final. Public, final. What? Only that is permitted. I have no idea why. I know it's not used. Oh, I already have them up there. What am I doing? Okay, that's why it's complaining. Public tile, like I said, not sure if it's public. The random terrain, certainly not public. Public final, that might be, oh, that's something else I need to look at. So now I'm just lost on where to put this. And then, okay, then also culture is like that, like so. And corridor is. So then it can be passed on to as an instance of tile to grid hexagon. Oh my god. Now I will ask ChatGPT for how I do that. I want just trying to formulate a question. I'm not really sure how to formulate it correctly. Let ChatGPT figure it out. It's so smart. I understand now. Problem checker is the order of operations, yes. No, I don't want to separate them. Where does he put it? Okay, that is after the random. Okay, so it gives me the code, but it wants to distinguish between corridor. Yeah, I can do that. Let me see. Can I also use the same and then terrain and terrain? So just asking if a solution might be the most straightforward, but I'm wondering if I can just use it, what is it called? Like this without giving it a random corridor name, random culture name. Yes, you can use the same variable names as long as you ensure that your correct value is assigned before you use the variable, yes. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, so it should work, it's just for confusion it says that, yeah, but I don't think that's useful. Java variables have block scope, which means that you can define the same variable name within different blocks. For example, different switch statement. However, you use the same variable for different purposes in the same block or scope, it can lead to confusing code. Okay, so if the way this is like this, it will be okay. It doesn't even redefine. I define the variable terrain outside of this block, and I don't even that works. It's not even limited to a variable that's defined within this block. So it does work, but it's just telling me to not use that to avoid confusion effect. Yeah, and this is just an order of things. Yeah, that's something I'm still not really useful. That when you have within a block, when you tell it to do things in code, that it's actually an order. So here it assigns a random thing, and then pof, I make a thing with that, and I assign another random value, pof, I make a thing with that, and that's sufficient. I don't even have to separate it in evident way with if statements, else, whatever. So this should just work like that. And like, do I feel like making a separate variable random terrain is very easy? It's within that. But if I want, like its example here, a corridor culture terrain, I need to make two. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think okay. I don't maybe a little too much of trying to reduce the thing. Is just one word extra here. Corridor. No. Terrain. Don't whine. And then there. Okay, let's do it like that. Effectively, like it says, it can be confusing when reading the code. This might just be a bit too much. It doesn't change anything in private and random terrain. I think I don't need this one, do I? That's defined in here. That I don't need to redefine that outside of the. Do I? Oh yes, it does. Okay. No. Okay. That's okay for me. And then, yeah, that might be just a bit too vague, but I'm okay. I'm happy that it works like that. I just don't. That's just very easy. So I think I found it now. That's all. It's so very much more simple, the whole thing. And then this one. Okay, then I need two of those. Ooh, now I have two variables. That's, yeah, I shouldn't have done this. This is so much overhead. Oh my god, this is too much overhead. Copy, random, plop. Oh, I changed it for random culture. Yeah, that's not smart. Corridor, new corridor terrain. Okay, of course that won't work. That is then culture terrain, and that is corridor terrain. And that's that. Culture is new, and then the grid hexagon takes both of those. I think it's a work of art. I think it's beautiful. I really think that. I love it. I love it. So yeah, now this is like I wanted, an instance of that. Here it's just a string. The tile type is just a string here. I don't need it. I need here the terrain that goes on top of it. Okay, here's an arrow in shape. That's all. That's normal. This tile is tile. Yeah, no, this. God, now I have to split it up. It's not this tile, it's tile. No, here it is tile culture, comma corridor also, like so. And this culture is culture. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. I see it now. Culture. Oh, I love it every time when I get something like that. And I think, all right, now it does have, I need a distinction, but now this hasn't changed much, by the way, the grid hexagon, except it had, no, it was pretty much the same. It already had something like this, I guess. So I was fighting with this because I wanted to know what is the tile then, but that isn't. Okay, that's still the problem with the. I'm tempted to just make the board height a static. I made it a final. Just make it static. It only has to. It only if shouldn't be supposed to change in the game. I don't know if that's better static or final. Oh, makes me thirsty. But if this ever changes, it implies that there's a new board being created, at least for how I can see it now. So I don't know if then it's better to use a static or, oh, let's add ChatGPT. Copy. Yeah, I can give you thumbs up, by the way. Sometimes just giving thumbs up. Thanks. Invert board class. I even forgot what it's called. Oh, but so I'm just running ChatGPT. I'm just asking what the best. I don't know the name for that. Static final. Yeah, when you have asking, I don't know what those things are called anymore. The static and the final. Oh, this one. It's keywords. The keywords. Here it says. Okay, so there's also volatile, transient, synchronized. Okay. Wow. Okay. And there's also something as a static final. This makes it clear that these are constants that don't change and are the same for all instances of the board class. There will be only one instance of the board class. Static means that the field belongs to the class itself rather than to any instance of the class. Ah, means that once the field is assigned, it can't be changed. Static final. Okay, that could be static final then. And then I can I reference, just asking if I can reference a static final as easy as a static. Okay, yeah, that's the same way of accessing them. Yeah, they are public. So now grid hexagon should stop complaining. Yes, that it can't find it. So this tile culture tile. So I can even simplify this to this culture, like so. And if this culture, and what is it? Oh yeah, for so and so, this culture is null. So I tell it not to create it, and then else that this was for that I create empty. I don't create the cultures for that. And then what is this? Return this tile. Okay, no, this is I reduce this with my way of thinking to 1. Why is this here? The get tile method, I thought I could reduce this to 1, which cannot be done now, as far as I can tell. Yeah, I can do ifs, offs, oofs, boof. Oh right, wait, I can. Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be interesting. No, but no, because the grid hexagon has both, so I cannot do an if something. If I could return them both, no, I cannot return two things with one. Culture tile. Return this culture. I don't even have to do this here. I can just say return culture public. That's all I need. Get corrid. Corrid. Missing half of the word. Then I want, I'm seeing this here, the W and H. I want, do I need them on there? I don't think I even need them on here because they're always inside the grid hexagon. So I can return those. I don't need them on the tile because especially now I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna put a unit list on a tile, so I don't specifically need to retrieve those coordinates, those array coordinates from the tile. I can take this out as well. As far as I think, like always, I don't need those. It's reduced to nothing, this poor class. Get tile type, get terrain, yes. So the unit list will be associated to a grid hexagon that has the WH, and then it will be associated to either its culture or its corridor in that order or whatever order. But yeah, I don't think they need to know about them, and otherwise I should just be able to pass them on from their, well, there's not a class hierarchy anymore for that, but anyways. So another little thingy that I made a note of. Where's main? that was for now taking out the dependencies that I don't use yet. Instead of just passing them out, I'm not sure if this is the order in which they will be passed on. So for now I take them out, because like for the instance of board, that might come from user interface, the controller, that might come from the rendered class now, etc. I don't now it's important that I do the order of things right, and the other one was the game loop. Not sure how that's all gonna interact. So for now, and now I kind of understand a bit how it works, so I can very easily add it when I know that I need it, but not just assume that they should be there for now. I slowly start to understand what mains can be used for. Very rudimentary, of course, but I love it with the board class, so that corridor stuff can go away. Now I have a random one. Now I should be able to make one another method that doesn't do a random one. Get random assigned culture down. Get random assigned corridor down. Yeah. Bye. That was some experiment. I need to fix the find or fixed. Now I need to. That was the big problem, which broke everything, or where I ran into the limits of my structure. This the famous find tile at point method, which also last night I realized this is what I need to highlight stuff. This is exactly the same thing. Before I was just, like I said, doing that on the shape object level, but I want, when I'm mousing over or clicking on something, I want to find that tile at that point, and not just telling it to highlight everything. That worked because I had a mouse listener in that object, etc., in the whole hierarchy, but now I need to do that differently. So in the user interface, probably, no, yeah, firstly in the mouse listener, not sure where the user interface is, how that will be connected, but I need to call a method from the board probably to this method like that, which then is used in the mouse listener to return some stuff, to return the correct tile. We'll see how that works out. printBoard. Let's change printBoard a bit. Grid culture, grid corridor, right? No, it's not visible. What is visible there directly? The get culture tile. Voila, the method like it should be. I guess. I don't. Why doesn't this give an error? Oh, okay. Oh, it's assigned here. I think this can be simplified as well. Tile. Oh yeah, of course. Now it can be simplified. Tile. Tile. No, it was already in tile. No, I don't have a tile here. Tile is grid. No. I cannot do that. Grid hexagon. Oh yeah, I could do else if complicated things, I think. But no, I can just do them double. Culture tile. That is no. Culture get terrain name. And I want to get tile type also. How do I add tile type to this fancy stuff? Oh yeah, string tile type. I think tile type is else. I think that's meant is empty. Like so. Oh, okay, no, it's not used because I don't use it yet. Like so. There's two tiles. So I can't do that through tiles simply. There's two tiles. Yeah, but I want to, there's only one in every position. So what? I'm just being ridiculous. I can just, I don't have to find anything. I can just tell it to, I can just fucking tell it that I know what it is because it's already here. Type culture tile name. No, that is the terrain name. Culture terrain name. That's not a tile. Terrain name. Like so. Terrain name. Terrain name. And I don't remember what this does. Was that the WH? So there is a grass, system print. Let me ask ChatGPT to translate that. Don't know how to read that with that percentage. Let's break down the comment. Yes. Is placeholder for a string. And you see in the format string you have replaced with the corresponding argument. In this case, we replace by the value, blah blah blah. Is the format string? What is the format? Oh, okay. Are the arguments? Yes. Oh, this is pretty extensive. Yeah, way more than I needed. Okay, so this is the format, I guess. Can I then say culture and corridor? Let's check it with him. Okay, so it works like that. That's great. So I took a little break, and while having my break, I realized I can simplify this stuff even more. I realized I don't even need the terrain and the tile objects. I can just join them into tile. Here, when I create the instances, I can create the instance with in here, instead of terrain, I say tile, and I create 4 times a culture and 4 times a corridor. And then I can delete one more object, in fact. And while destroying my whole class hierarchy and wanting to keep tile, then wanting to throw it away, I was thinking I don't need it. In the end, I will only have the tile object left, in fact. So this is actually, I'm pretty stoked for this. And I must say, I repeat myself, but since reading this book from, was it Robert Nystrom? Oh yeah, here it is, Robert, yeah. It really made a click in my head, or made a few clicks, that I think I didn't even understand half of all the implications, all the things that he's talking about. And on top of that, it's written, his examples are written in C++, which I don't really know how to read. But yeah, I can, when I'm reading it, I understand, I can deduce kind of what it means. With it's kind of similar. Some ways of notation, I don't really get exactly what it does. I had to ask ChatGPT at one point to translate it in before in the video. Yeah, I can see what it uses when there's methods, when there's fields being initialized, what the constructor does. But anyway, reading about, even when not even understanding half of it, I think it gave me a global overview of how things are related, what you can do with it. And I, since then, and with all my exchanges with ChatGPT also, but I get a way better idea of how all these objects and stuff, how it all relates. And yeah, I still struggle a lot to implement it, but yeah, it really made me realize different things. And to reiterate what I said in my video about the limits of ChatGPT, just reading this one actually pretty short book, but it goes over design principles that are known, and then he adds a bit of his stuff on how we can even better use those things. And yeah, the difference is that it gives me a global overview of all kind. The chapters are pretty much the design patterns, sequencing, behavior, decoupling patterns, optimizing patterns, and all of those different chapters give insight in different problems in programming and the different methods to solve those problems. And yeah, while ChatGPT is great in giving all kinds of code examples, it's I would say it's that good in reading and writing code that you can feed it all kinds of crappy code, and it will give you code that works on your crappy code without any architecture, without any design, with zero design. It can give you code to make it work. But it does give hints. That's why I got to the book. But yeah, the difference is that now I understand way better how all these things are related or could be related, and it really made a difference. I'm really in this footage. I'm really in this makeover. What I'm doing, I'm breaking everything and making it new. It really made all kinds of. It really made things much more clear in my head. So I'm really happy with that. I really feel like now I'm advancing a bit. I'm still not back to the point where I got stuck of by selecting a tile or placing a unit, but yeah, while doing all this, I'm taking out all kinds of classes. I'm also adding new classes like the unit list, etc. All kinds of things that I'm separating. But yeah, actually, it's pretty. It allows me to think much clearer on all the things. So, right. Anyway, I think so. I think I can take out the terrain or merge the terrain and the tile classes because, yeah, it simplifies it even more. Yeah, when I stop scrolling up and down a bit, it doesn't matter because here a grid hexagon does need both a culture and a corridor, but that object I assign to it in this loop here. So that doesn't make any difference. And now that I empty tile, I merged corridor and culture tile in this tile class, which has hardly any content, I can easily make it into one with terrain and make it take one extra argument, because terrain then I can take out because it will be one. So let me see if am I going to make, yeah, because I want to keep tiles, so I will just put everything from terrain into tile type. Terrain can go out, I think. Then tile takes all these arguments, all these parameters, plus the tile type. Terrain goes out. Oh, don't delete the bracket. Tile type, that's so great. Put that stuff in the constructor. Terrain I don't need, replace that. Get the getters, get the load image, the events, make that whole stuff go in there. Get tile type, get terrain, I don't need it anymore. There won't be a terrain object anymore. So that is gone. And then in board, this whole thing gets replaced by tile, like so. Copy it. So then I instantiate 8 tiles, like I did 8 terrains. Those are my building blocks. And then of course it's not happy because it wants another argument in there, which is culture for all these ones. Let's copy that. Now I want also the rest with that, like that, like that. So this is a little bit of a repetition, but I don't care. That is very, very easy to read. Oh, it needs a capital because it's just a string that I want to be able to return. Corridor as well. Put that all in there, like that. Just the name will be like, it will just be an instance of tile instead of that. The name, I don't need to add corridor or culture to there. That's for somebody else, would be hard to read, but not for me. Tile, culture, corridor, that can go away, of course. And then with my random assignment function, culture terrain, that function cannot convert from tile to terrain. Random culture tile, random corridor tile, and this also will be a tile, not a thing like that. Culture, I don't need culture, I need random culture tile, random culture tile, tile, and culture terrain, culture tile, that's a tile. Except my new function, what is culture? Culture doesn't exist. Tile culture, I don't need terrain here, and tile corridor, and here culture is desert. It's even more simple, like so. And then culture is not new tile. Culture is just, I don't need this anymore. I don't even need to instantiate a new thing anymore because I already have them now. So I just use these instantiated objects. I don't even need to create anything new in here. I assign a value to them for it only picks one of these and one of these, and then it passes it to that. Yeah, so that I don't need to insert anything. It just takes this tile that I instantiate there and pass them straight to there. So that this kind of cleans up the code even more, like so, like that. Yeah, that's all. I'm pretty happy with that. And then where was it? Oh yeah, in the printBoard. Multi-type not is null. Method getRange and the type for the type tile. It isn't. Get terrain name. The culture tile, do I have it still? Okay, so this changes also, probably more simple even. Get culture tile in grid, yes. Tile corridor tile, tile type, get culture tile returns culture, get tile type, I'm not in the right function. Get culture tile, get corridor tile, culture terrain name is. Yeah, I don't even need to get the terrain type here. I could do it with get tile type. And now I can just take out the get terrain because that's no object anymore. Oh, yeah. So yeah, it becomes a little more simple even. Get culture tile, get corridor tile, hop. So yeah, that was pretty easy. So now the whole terrain class, take this little example here and put it in there for reminder. It's goodbye terrain, delete, bye. Oh, and key also, that was some old experiment. That can go away also. That was for hash maps or something. So that's it. So now I reduced, in my view, even the complexity even more. This is great.